Good evening. This is Lady Dana, and tonight I'll be discussing with you a few, simple tips regarding paranormal and ghosts. Those things that see, well, not normally. Well, with me, that's a normal phenomenon because, it's what I do. But most people, seeing entities is not exactly what you would call normal. But with me, it is normal, since it's what I do, and well, I have my experiences from good ones to worse ones. Anyway, um, there's a difference between ghosts and spirits and astral shells and thought forms. First, we're going to discuss about ghosts. Ghosts are actually um, earthbound spirits, um, formerly human beings. Um, the thing about these entities, some people think that they can see us. Well, norm. The thing is, they don't really see us. They they can feel us. They know that we're here. It's like it's how we felt about them. But the difference is that since we're alive, we can see them. All our senses are intact, so we can see them. Them, on the other hand, can't see us because technically they don't have a body to have eyes. Those third eye. They don't have complete chakras. Now, with having a third eye doesn't mean that it's going to be selective. Technically, we don't have selective third eye. That's not to say we cannot choose what we see. So, no matter what we do, once this is open, we can see things. It wouldn't matter if it's something good or something, not normal, but still we see them, normally see them. Now, with ghosts, since they can't see us, they do what they want to. They and there's one theory that they can see ghosts go through walls. Um, they didn't really go through walls because what they see is how it looks like when they died. So kahit tayo na uli ng another structure on that particular area, they won't see walls. They would see what they saw before they were gone. They cannot see the walls. So if we see them walking through walls, it's not because they're walking through walls. To them, there's no wall there. To us, there is. So that's a fact. Another fact is that they're not floating. There is such a thing in science as what you call when uh, the land starts corroding. Corrosion. Pag bumaba yung lupa, naturally, kung kailan sila namatay, na nakakaangat yung lupa, they would look like as if they're floating, but they're not floating. They're actually standing on solid ground. Well, at least to them, it was solid ground. So kung bumaba yung lupa, if corrosion happens within that certain span of time, they would still remain on that particular area of land when they left the earth, when they left their bodies. So they would look like as if they're floating, but they're not floating. They're actually on solid ground. To them, it was solid ground. Another strange phenomenon was in a certain place somewhere in Mount Pinatubo. There are people who actually got buried alive there, and some people say they see spirits with just heads. No, they're not just heads. There's a body attached to the head. The only problem is that since they're underground, we can't see the body. We can just see the head floating. It's weird, but yeah, that's how it goes. They're not um, exactly dead. On their thoughts, that's how it goes. They're still on solid land. Now, apart from that, there are some places around Luzon where I went at one point. It used to be a garrison for Japanese soldiers during a span of time. And that particular place was, they call it a Red House or Bahay na Pula. Well, a lot of the other psychics said there's ghosts here, there's ghosts there. With me, those are not ghosts. They're actually memories. They don't have ghosts in there. They have astral shells. True. Astral shells are nothing. They're just shells, empty. So technically, they're just memories of what had happened in the past. They are not earthbound spirits. No, they're just memories, and they reenact whatever happened to that particular place. It happens over and over and over. So it keeps, repeating itself. Now, besides astral shells, we also have what you call the regular spirits. The regular spirits, those are the spirits that dwell on the certain elements. These are the sylphs or the fairies in Tagalog, the Didiwata. Those there's also uh, they call the dwarves or the elves or the duendes. Those things, these creatures, they won't harm you unless you harm them first. And some people say na nasaktan sila, sinaniban sila. No, actually, they won't do any harm to you unless you harm them first. It's like it's like karma. You do unto others what you want others to do unto you. Saktan mo sila natural, sasaktan ka rin nila. It's a natural thing. It's the balance of nature. You get what you deserve. If you do, there are some people who see ant hills. They thought at least it was ant hills, and then they'll destroy it. Well, sometimes those things are actually houses. They're mounds of houses for these creatures, and of course, normal reaction. If you destroy their house, they will destroy you. It's a normal phenomenon, so we don't really need to be so, harsh with these things. They don't mean any harm. They have their own jobs to do, and humans are the least they expect to, fight with. At least that's what I believe in. They're just acting like how we would act if we get destroyed or if we get hurt in the first place. That's just how it works. Uh, Same thing with the fairies. Same thing with the sirens or yeah, the water creatures. The same thing with just about everything. You harm them first, then they will destroy you in return. These creatures that I admire the most is because they have word of honor. What they say, they will do. That's how I see them. how they showed themselves to me. Now, with regards to, there's another kind of creature or spirits that came about, and we call it thought forms. Thought formations are actually katang-isip in Tagalog. Well, thought forms, they often get manifested if depending on the thoughts of the person. Some of these thought forms can actually uh, do more harm than good because these are usually creatures that are born out of our, personal emotions, feelings, and our thoughts on other people. Well, personally, I would prefer to think positively about other people instead of, creating a thought form that would con- consistently harm somebody. And I don't want to give life into something that could be too dark. So, my advice to avoid these kinds of creatures would be, let's be nice to others. Do not create do not create things that would, put you in another direction that you don't want to be in. Let's just be bygones. Be bygones on our, on those people who did us wrong. We cannot think right if inside we're hurting. Like I said again, natural phenomenon. You get hurt, you retaliate. Same thing that happens every time when you get mad at someone. You tend to create something that would harm another person. So the best solution for that, don't think ill about other people. Think nice things. Always remember, you get what you deserve. And if you harm somebody, you will get something in return that I don't think you will like. I learned it the hard way. Sure. I learned it the hard way, and it's not a very good thought either. So, yeah, there. So, those are the types of spirits that you can come about and encounter in your lifetime as a practitioner or as a regular human being. And just always remember, they can harm you, but you can harm them. So, this is Lady Dana. Thank you very much for listening tonight, and good luck and blessed be.